Hello everyone, hello. Well, precisely, those greycoat scum. It's a bit different. It's a bit different this week. This week, like the old days of North and South, we have the DixieLand Army, yes, the actual DixieLand Army, against the Union Army in a line battle, a special organised line battle this evening. So our big thanks go out to all the regiments and, of course, the commanders of the Union Army and, of course, the Dixieland Army for getting this event together and, of course, allowing us to record it. So extra thanks to them. So, as you can see, we've got 100, and this is not the only server. There's actually another server with the same thing going on. There's so many people who wanted to play. So, anyway. There's little Ferris saying hello to his mum. So next time you see little Ferris's mum, say hello. Now, let's see. Here is Skelova, or Scavola, from the 1st United States Sharpshooters. You always recognise that fine grain livery. Private Surgery O of the 8th Florida. There's Chewbacca looking very hairy. And there, of course, PFC Paboing. And Robert Adam from the 68th New York, and oh boy, you can hear the fire coming in. Look at these guys over here. And now you can see Kazuo or Kyuzo, and there's Samus. And got to say hello to Rebel Axe, man of much history in this game. So let's see if we can find out what's going on here. The 12th Georgian, who have just made their way across the big stony bridge, and behind them you can see yet more. There, of course, the 61st Virginia, supported by Colonel Albert from the 41st Tennessee, and you can see them coming up with their cannons. And here are the 61st Virginia Invitational Milo, and at the back is Johnny Cotton. Now, let's see. Here is Brigadier General T. Jackson, Stonewall. So, let's see. As we are watching these guys as they make their way up by the side of this wall. Now, this, for those of you who don't remember, this map was in fact the same map where the Union Army took on the members of the Confederate States of America in my first ever video of North and South. What a fine battle that was. Absolutely brutal. Now, let's see. What is going on as we fly over towards Little Wooden Bridge here? Or Big Wooden... Is this Big Wooden Bridge or is it Little Wood? This is Big Wooden Bridge. So we're at Big Wooden Bridge at the moment. And there's obviously the indentation in the ground, which people tend to be in, but there's, well, there's one person in there, but he's not really fighting back, I have to say. So, the balloon is up. The Intrepid is airborne. And now we move over here, the 95th New York, Verbluffen. And there's Captain Thomas Morrow from the Michigan Volunteers. And here's Red Roman from the 95th New York, and these guys firing back, making use of the cover. Veteran Harry. Now, let's see. We move up towards the artillery section of the Confederate States of America. There, Major General Musiel from the 4th Michigan. We're hearing fifage. Oh, look at this! Private Tinyman from the 2nd Rhode Islanders. Look at that. Fantastic stuff. Love it. Oh dear, we've just lost Colonel Brutus. And Major Valka's taken him down with the pistol. Let's see if we can find out what's going on. Devil Punch Bowl. Fire at will. Well, damn, son. Ah, Mediking! There's Mediking. A bit of sandwich. What the hell? A bit of... oh, dear me. Never mind. The brain. It's dying. It's been a long day. Evil Dragon from the... Is that the 12th Illinois? It was the 12th Illinois. And you can see there, of course, Sergeant Lear from the Rhode Islanders. And with Quartermaster Sergeant Barbarian. And these guys have got a pretty good position. The 12th Illinois Volunteer Dingle, a great name. And there's First Lieutenant Irish of the Mivs. So Michigan Volunteers. Don't they look wonderful? And up here, Private Ollie, veteran Private Ollie. And you can see the fire coming in around these guys. As there's Major Valk with that fine moustache on the gentleman. And now you can see that they are in a good defensive position. They've obviously got to watch out for cannons, because that's going to be a problem otherwise. Because the cannons will do a huge amount of damage and will explode through those walls. Shrapnel will go everywhere and people will die horribly. So, Private Noodle. Look at that. The Noodle. Oh no! Perboing is down. Perboing dead. Oh dear. Poor Perboing. We've lost him. Never mind. So, Isaiah Barkley, I should say, of the 68th New York. And you can see that this is, on this particular map, this is pretty much what you see in most occasions. You see a standoff between the little stony bridge, between the wooded areas on either side, which offer good cover, but not necessarily from cannonballs. So, as you can see, doesn't always work, but it's going to be a very, very dangerous situation for them to make their way across this bridge. Open air, bullets cracking all around, and there's a cannoneer. There's Dirk Bowers, and here is Colonel Jockfill of the 3rd Connecticut. Look at that. Doesn't he look handsome? Fine moustache. And we move over and see. Down comes the. There's Museal. And there's Adjutant William. And I think Tinyman's been told off. Is he off again? Yep, he's off. He's going to be doing some airborne flutage. A bit of airborne fifing. He's moving up there. Come on, get on with it. Anyway, let's move on. Devil Punch Bowl recruit of the 95th New York. And this is the defensive position that they've got themselves into. Just over to the right of the wooden bridge. No, not the wooden stony bridge, the wooden bridge. The big wooden bridge. And here, with the 4th Michigan. And there, Colonel Sawyer of the DA. Look at that. I think it's the Black Hand Brigade. I can't remember off the top of my head. My apologies to those fine, fine fellows. As we've lost Private Lumberjack, courtesy of a cannon. Look at those cannonballs come bouncing in between these guys. And now they're making a push across the river. Wiseman 2 from the 95th, leading the boys forward. And you can see the bullets rattling around these guys. And he's trying to take a difficult look at that. Weaving back and forth across that bridge to try and make sure that they don't lose too many people. And look at that. They've done a fantastic job. The members of the 95th New York making their way across. No casualties thus far. Spectre makes it across. Museal also. At the back, there's Thomas. Oh, submarine horse in the background. There's Captain Whisper. So these guys have made it onto the other side of the river. And now they can make use of this cover that the bank gives them. As they can move up closer to the defensive positions of their enemy. Now, over by the big stony bridge, it looks like we've got some staff crossing over as Museal has just been bled to death here from the 1st Division. John Dunbar, Staff Lieutenant. Now, that could be Sturog. It is, of course. always carrying the flag. Brave fellow. And here's the Shermanator. William Sherm coming in. Slicing and dicing, and down goes Sherm. Oh, he's up against the Dixieland army now, and Sherm's bleeding. This is not good for the Sherm. He's going to have to get out of the way. He's going to have to ask for a little bit of healing, but is he going to fight to the bitter end? Let's see what happens. Sherm currently bleeding out. Out goes the pistol, and as you can see, the pistol's as accurate as you would expect them to be, as Major Valk catches a cannonball along with his teammate Dart Bowers. So, has Sherman been healed? No, the blood still squirts from Shermanator. Oh dear, this could be very serious for Lieutenant General. The blood continues to pour out of Sherm, and they've got to get a healer to him as quickly as they can. But the blood continues to drip incessantly from Sherm. What's going to happen? Is he going to go in? Oh, he's going to go maybe for a suicide run. We'll have to wait and see. Poor Sherm. There we go. He asks for the heal. He's asking for the heal. And there we go. The Sherm is healed. There we go. That could have been an unfortunate moment. We could have lost Lieutenant General William Sherman. He'll probably get shot in the head now, but, you know. Such is life, as over here comes PFC Minty from the 95th. He gets sliced down. And you can see more people, and coming round the side is Eugene Beaver, Major of the 3rd US. And so the Union Army team look to regroup in this area, get themselves sorted out, try and pick up the colours, and move on to find their next quarry. Nathan Jones from the 3rd US firing across the river. And now let's have a look over here, because you can see some clippity-clops making their way back and forth. But over here on the right side, you can see here the 1st Californian. Look at this, following in with the 16th Alabama and the 15th Alabama. Sorry, my apologies. There's Flemmy and there's Shaman. And at the back, Captain Thomas Morrow. Now, additional forces here. You can see Captain Whisper from the Union Brigade. There's Brigadier General John Reed of the Michigan Volunteers. Doesn't he look devilishly handsome with that beard? So, let's have a look around, and we see Dogacito from the 41st Tennessee's down. Down goes Colonel Zadiz of the 8th Florida, leader of that cavalry. And oh my goodness, it's Subhuman from the Michigan Regiment. Now, let's see as we watch him move out. And you can see there's quite a lot of stabbing going on in here. Looks to be a very nasty battle going on between the members of the 15th Alabama, and they're being attacked by the 61st Virginia. Private Szymanski. Huzzah indeed. As horse comes flying through. Man goes down straight on his nose. That's Invitational Justin. Look at that. He from the BHB. He has to cheese it. For obvious reasons, he's lost his clippity-clop. And now he is going to be in trouble. And look at that. Down goes Justin. Sliced across the back by Ray 744. And a bit of horn work coming in from Inglorious. So, look at these guys. Peterman also in there. Down goes Julianator, bled to death horribly. And James Kavanagh, Major General of the 1st Division. Ah, look at this. What's going on over here? Do we even want to know? There's something... Harper's Ferry Arsenal. Bandage crates. So they're here to basically get the drugs. Help their days pass. So they're here to get all the drugs and all the paraphernalia. And we're hearing fine fifing. Brave fifing from Tinyman. Always a thankless task. The fifer. Oh, Whisper dodging a cannonball. Very nice moves by him. Little bit of fancy horse work, a bit of hoof work going on there. As Captain Kenway moves up, correction. Captain Kenway dies horribly and then gets furiously teabagged by Colonel Sawyer. Love it. So here is Corporal Red Panda. Oh, Nelly! Oh, Corporal Red Panda! Holy crap! That was one hell of a shot! Look at that. Absolutely butchered them until he himself got killed. No more red pandering for that Red Panda. However, he went out in style, killing many men before him. And look at this, the 68th, with the backpacks and everything. Oh, look at them, don't they look fantastic? And Thomas Beale from the 3rd US is taken down. And we watch the 68th New York make their way across as Patrick Sheridan gets cut down in the charge to the cornfields. And this is a nasty situation. Captain Von Werth. And over the other side here, what are they up against? The 2nd Rhode Islanders. Of course, the Noodle. They're waiting. The attack Noodle has pounced. Look out, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out for the Noodle. Down goes Wilku. And more bleeding occurs. We've lost Dingle. Oh dear, poor Dingle. Not good. Not good at all. So, let's see. As you can see, the 68th New York doing a good job. Managing to stay alive. Szymanski currently not staying alive. Eugene Beaver also taken down by Colonel Sawyer's pistol. The Colt doing its damage. Oh, look at this. The Michigan Volunteers. Here is Cooper Miller, 3rd US. And they're going up against Subhuman from the Michigan Volunteers. Fighting with a little bit of butt action, a little bit of rifle goings on. Look at that. Stabbed brutally in the back. Until the melee continues till the last man is wiped out. And here is Anzoka as the Union wins the round. And we move on to the next one. So there you go, the first round to the Union Army versus the Dixieland Army. Colonel Sawyer currently circling, waiting. Oh, look, a house. How lovely. We actually made it inside this time. It's one of those houses where nobody can get inside. Nearby the Intrepid. And I do apologise, my voice sounding a bit hoarse today. Don't know why, it's been like that a couple of weeks. Never mind. Anyway, here is Private Simpson. And a horsey galloping through the glen, or through the fields, not through the glen really. It's First Lieutenant Julian Ater. Now, supporting his left side is a fine section of fellows. Colonel Wiseman. Well, precisely. Colonel Wiseman from the 95th New York moving out with his lads. Look at that. Recruit Red Roman. And Paul Frank. Oh, look at this. We're back with the 68th again. And there you can see members of the West Point Military Academy. Let's see if we can find more of these guys. Here is Horace Bowler. Horace Bowler, I should say. And there is Dogosito, the engineer, putting up the sandbags. George Latham, the Brigadier General, currently looking through his binoculars with his nose. And RFM Trolleyman. Look at that. The 3rd Arkansas. He says 3rd Arkansas in his backpack, but he's actually 63rd Virginia. But they still look great, nevertheless. Who's Tail End Charlie? Tech Monkey from the 63rd. Oh dear. Couldn't take any more. Could not take any more as Jockville gets a nice explosive kill on the enemy. Let's see who's leading the lads. There is Sergeant Knighthead of the 63rd. Doesn't he look devilishly handsome today? as these guys working together. Now, 15th Alabama's, the 41st Tennessee, look at this, the 8th South Carolina. And there's Puchovsky, probably said the name wrong, kind of used to it by now. 15th Alabama getting together, working together with the South Carolinians. And up the far end here you can see Private Giffey. So, let's see what's going on as we follow in. And here you can see Julianator continuing to check on the binocs. Gentleman having trouble controlling his horse. That's Colonel Sawyer. Look at that. The smoke puffs of the cannons being fired by the enemy. You can see the smoke puffs from the eventual landing of those cannonballs and explosions from the howitzers. There's Marcos, Colonel Albert of the 41st, who's the engineer at Dogosito, and supported by the 3rd US. John von Walsum and the boys. There, of course, the wonderful Mr. Gustav Black. Waiting for a chance. There we go. I knew it'd fire as soon as I started talking. Just knew it. So, let's see as we move on. Oh, Nelly! Josen with a kill onto multiple members of the 68th New York. They immediately have to move. As you can see here, nice explosion landed right between that guy's legs. He looks less than impressed, to be honest, but, you know, I think that's the least of his problems. But, oh, goodness me, Josen again, cutting down members of the 68th. They are now going to have to flee. There's Zero Knight, looking as buxom as ever. And these guys pulling back, Lumberjack. And temporary... oh dear. Poor old Colonel Farts has been temporarily banned. Dear, oh dear. King Richard II. Well, actually, King Richard the 201st. Making his way back with the other members of the 68th. So those guys have had to retreat slightly. Understandably so. As the 68th Virginia... bended knee, waiting for the signal to attack from Colonel E. Shepard. So, let's see. Let's see as now James Kavanagh making his way, looking through the binocs at the enemy, which he knows is nearby. As we continue to watch horses clippity-clop around, this is what he's going to be looking at. The 15th Alabama. And now you can see them. Gregorius Tagar from South Carolina limbering up. Billy Wasser. Major Muerto. Joe Paxton. Corporal Petrovsky, Private Giffey, and of course Captain Melbodge, looking for a target. So, meanwhile dancing around on the horse is First Lieutenant Julianator, and it's a bit quiet right now, as there's Sergeant Nighthead from the 63rd, and they're... whoa, nearly I heard that cannonball go right over the top of his head. So we're going to go over to the other side of the river and see if we can find out who is by the White Barn. Now, I don't even know what James Green is doing right now from the 3rd US. But standing nearby, there we go, Brigadier General Carl McMuffin. The Muffin himself, there's Sturog. And Zero Night gets taken down, and there's Sherm checking through his binocs, this time with a stogie in his mouth. Now, over on their left side. Maybe, oh dear, Manly Pleasington's fallen off the server. This could be a problem for them because you can see now their left side is a little bit vulnerable as it's being attacked by the members of the 1st Michigan Volunteer. There's Major Valk and Lightwing. So there, of course, Major Valk. You'd recognise that moustache anywhere. Fantastic. As Jockville gets taken down by a cannonball. Oh dear, poor Jockville. And you can see Private Jacob here from the Union Brigade. Sergeant Lear from the Rhode Islanders over on the far right. Sergeant Wilco. So, those guys are continuing their battle. The 12th Georgia still remain in this standoff position. Colonel Jewell from the 12th Georgian. Now, let's see. What's he going to do? Oh, dear. Shot in the head by a recruit. Kyle McMuffin is no more. So, what's going on down here? Sigismund. There's Avatar from the South Carolina Brigade. There's, of course, Private Schmann and Quartermaster Sergeant Thunder from the 15th Alabama. And this gentleman seems to be having fun with the horse's bottom. So we'll say no more about that. So there's Nighthead from the 63rd. Now, unfortunately, it looks like it's become a little bit of a standoff right now. You can see it's 82 versus 90. So it's going to get to a situation where we're probably going to have to have an all charge. Oh, look at that drumming. Who's the drummer? Dr. Rilla, the musician of the 12th Georgian. No, can't get a good look at him. Doing a fine job with the drumming. Look at that. Where is he going? Oh, he's going down the length of the line. Is he going to turn around at the end? Oh, look at that. Fine work from Dr. Rilla. As Major Valk gets taken down. Longshank also. So we're watching everyone as they watch Dr. Rilla march back and forth, raising the morale of his troops. And then about facing at the other end. Look at that. Textbook about facing coming in from Dr. Rilla. We shall leave him to his duty. And move on. As Brigadier General Musil gets cut down. There's Gustav. Inglorious waiting. Huzzah indeed. Oh goodness me, look at this. Clippity clops coming past. It's Colonel Sawyer. Look at that, the fire coming in. And the slicing and the dicing beginning. Oh, this is a nasty, nasty ambush situation from the BHB. They've got them with their backs up against the wall, and now they're just running along, slicing and dicing left, right and centre. Oh, they got to watch out because they've also been ably supported by the 1st Californian. They've moved in to assist in the mopping up of the remaining army, and a fine ambush there laid by these gentlemen. There's Engel, map maker from the 1st United States Sharpshooters, PFC Noroweta. There, Captain Leishu, of course. None other than Captain Schnirsch. And there's Lucius and Corporal Zocker. So, let's see if we can find out where those guys are. Here is Private Harajam and the 8th Florida Cavalry. Who are they supporting, I wonder? It is the United States Sharpshooters. And Engel is leading the boys forward as these guys make their way past. Altair Gamer supporting at the rear. Well, precisely. Let's look around. It's Horace Longdiddle of the 3rd US. The longest of all the diddles. And they are firing at their... Oh. Oh dear. Oh, he killed Chaplain Levi as well. That's hardly fair. That's very unsporting. And look here. You can see the 15th Alabama and... Wow, look at this ambush. The bodies. Oh my goodness. And the horse. Oh dear. Look at this. This was a very, very successful ambush against these poor red-legged devils. You can see, yep, we even lost our drummer. Our poor drummer is gone. Never mind. So, a successful ambush. And you can see now that these guys continue to push their advantage forward. The 1st Californian, supported by the cavalry, that laid waste to the nearby regiment, as you can see. Pushing in on the Big Stony Bridge. But they don't really want to push in too far, because if they have to make their way across this part here, you can see how open it is and susceptible to fire, that they would become under fire from these guys on the 3rd US. Oh, down goes one of the defences. You can see finally shot away. They've had to move over to other fences and the protection that it provides. There's one of the few remaining members of the 61st Virginia that is surviving. And here is Thomas Beale, the 3rd US Colonel, forming a plan on how to deal with the attack across the Big Stony Bridge. Oh, Nelly! Rebel Axe coming in there with a lovely cannonball kill onto Horace Bowler and Cooper Miller, as you can see. Fine shot indeed. 2 of those guys taken down. That's slowly going to erode the defences. So, that gives you a little taster of what those guys can come to expect very soon. As the cannonball bounces past the camera, as we fly towards what I believe is Rebel Axe on the cannon. It is from the West Point Military Academy, showing the boys how it's done. Primarily Private Kaiser from Connecticut. And that's the loading dance, otherwise known as the artillery teabag. What's he firing? Standard cannon by the looks of it. Yep, that's a standard cannon. And then ably supported at the back by the South Carolinian Regiment. There's Giffey at the back. And these guys providing a little bit of support for Rebel Axe and the boys. So, let's see. Major Dunger of the 12th Illinois. There's Private Ed. And Lance Corporal Novo. Now, 46 and 55. It's very, very close. Oh, hello. That was a cannonball. God, it didn't even leave a message. How rude. How rude. What's going on here? Yeehaw indeed. Thank you. Now, there's Pruchowski at the back of the South Carolinian Regiment, the tail end Charlie. And here, zipping past on the horsey, you can see Whisper as Colonel Albert takes down, looks like the 1st Californian and a member of the Alabaman Regiment. Seems to be quite a lot of horses around here at the moment. There's Adjutant William. Fine moustache, checking through his binocs. Thomas Morrow also doing the same. That fine braid work on his arm looks fantastic. Oh, autistics from the West Point Military Academy. Now, let's see if we can find out what's going on over here. The 95th New York recruit Red Roman. There's Wiseman too, and other members of the 95th New York supporting the cannon. But I don't think the cannon's actually in use. Actually, it's more of a howitzer than a cannon. And it's Rebel Axe who is working the howitzer with Kaiser. So, as he pauses to scratch himself, as you do. No, not like that. Dear, oh dear. So, this seems to be a very long round. There's no charging going on. And obviously, it is a slightly different battle. There's still 52 and 42 against each other. And here is John Reed. Nobody wants to give up the advantage. But eventually, I think maybe when it gets to possibly 30 minutes, they will say you've got to charge, because otherwise it will be a standoff. But then you get aggressive moves like this. Thomas Beale, the 3rd US, bringing the boys up by the big stony bridge and along the side of the river. Ably supported behind by the 61st Virginia. There we go, all charge, Cav dismount, and no more ferning. Ferning is not allowed. Yes, that's a running joke on the Union Army as a result of misspelling. So it's now generally referred to as ferning as opposed to firing. Yeah, typos. What can you do? Now, let's see. Oh, goodness me. Oh, look at this. Oh, this could be a very, very nasty situation. As now the stabbing begins on the riverside. Here's Nathan Jones backing up as these guys... Oh, God, how far is he going to back up? Oh, look at this. He's defending himself in the water. Look at this. This is nasty, nasty stuff going on in the water. Underwater defenses. Oh, look at that. Fantastic stuff. The blood running into the river. Turning the river red. Brutal, brutal stuff. There's Takarith from Illinois, the colonel. Down goes another man. And down goes Philip Grant, PFC of the 3rd US. Now, 27 versus 31. There's still quite a few remaining now. Well, precisely. Okay, whatever you say. As now you can see more of the charging and stabbing that is occurring, going on in the various areas. Here's Denimo from the 8th Florida. Corporal Ray. And here is Altair Gamer. Now, here comes the rest. Here's Veteran Private Arcane from the 12th Illinois. Well, precisely. We're going in for a little bit of stab and grab. Oh, nasty. There's Termito with a fine kill and a team kill in there as well. Wouldn't be Mountain Blade without a team kill. Poor old Verbluffen. Very, very apologetic for his... Whoopsie-daisy. For his team kill earlier. And now you can see the medicing done. And the remaining members of the Union Army. And here comes the Union Army, all that remains. Norraweta, Lace Shoe, Dandy, Paul Frank, and Solarfish from the 68th. And this is the melee With right now the Union Army on the back foot. Down goes Leishu, down goes Noah Wetter. As this is a very unfortunate situation for the United States sharpshooters. Very, very unfortunate. 2 members of the Union remain. And here they are. Turning to fight. And down they go. And Dingle with a team kill on Verbluffen right at the end. We're going to move over after a map change. Okay, well, we're back after an unfortunate server crash, or disconnection at any rate. We are back with the last round as we follow Private Irish from the Union Brigade, 2nd Rhode Island. There's Private Noodle. There's Corporal F.O. James from the 63rd. And Chaplain Levi, doesn't he look devilishly handsome today? Now, let's see. There's Jock Phil. Now, where's the rest of them? Seems to be all on his own. That's a bit of a worry. And Recruit Cossack from the 1st Michigan Volunteers. And Veteran Private Ollie. And looks like these guys... Oh, hello. Look at that classic Colt 6 shooter there. Look at that. Major Falk. Loading the cartridges back in. Ready to fire. And here's Autistic. Autist. From the West Point Military Academy. With his spade ready to do work. And... I wonder what's going on there. I thought he was just going round and round in circle. I really think he's going round and round in circle. Oh, his jock fell. Oh, God. What is he doing? Just wandering around on a random horse. As there is Nutchill and Joson from the 3rd Connecticut firing their fine cannon. Supported by Dirk Bowers. There we go. There's the standard mountain blade catch. Oh dear. It's all ended now. Oh, the disappointment. So. Here is Recruit Cossack. And it looks like Kevinak has taken down Devil Punch Bowl with a fine headshot. Now, let's have a look around. Subhuman. There's Sergeant Lear. Oh, goodness. Look at this encampment. Is there anyone up there? No, there's not. But there is some people downstairs. The Rhode Islanders in this defensive encampment. John Longshank. And they're liking this defensive encampment. They can keep their position hidden. And it enables them to engage the enemy, taking cover nearby a windmill. Can see these guys starting to move out. As you can see, random dead horse. There's Paul Frank. And here comes the 68th New York. There's Robert Adam. Up. Bye. Yes, okay, okay. So he's teabagging the windmill. Don't even want to know. So, not sure what's going on with that shadow. It's very strange. Oh dear. And it looks like Hector has just team killed the Brigadier General. Oh dear me. It's gone horribly wrong. Now, let's see, here's Colonel Sawyer. And here is PFC Patton. And the fighting with the 12th Georgian continues as here's Private Simpson from the BHB defending themselves from this attack. Look at this fine melee work. As Tilly gets stabbed in the bottom by McDover. As Petrovsky also taken out. Where are these fellows who are getting in the battle? The 15th Alabama. Verbluffen from the 95th. Going up against the likes of the 3rd US. There's Thomas Beale as Ridge gets barged to the floor.
For the Union.
And what is this over here? Looks like a fireplace or some kind of shrine, maybe? Maybe it's a shrine to Hinkle. Oh dear. Down goes Aslis. And Verbluffen also taken down. Oh, brutal shooting going on as Thomas Beale continues to work with his officer's sabre. As the bullets rattle around. As one of the guys, Brigadier General T. Jackson, comes in for a medic. Looking for some medicing. Is he going to get it in time? No, it's not going to get any medicing. He's looking for the medic. But there may not be any medics available. It's not looking good. Please medic this man. He needs a medic. He needs a medic. Is he going to get a medic in time? The bleeding continues to run down his leg. And onto the ground. Apparently not. It may be the end for Brigadier General T. Jackson. So he may be going into the battle, looking for the enemy, knowing he's going to die, bleeding out slowly. What a wonderful image that sets, isn't it? And he's maybe going over here. There we go. He's looking for some medic. Oh, fantastic. The members of the 12th Georgia medic him with fine bandage work. Excellent. So he can now continue to survive. Although he's probably lost quite a bit of health. Oscar 78. Sergio. Invitational Samin. There, of course, Musket Maskin. John von Walsum. And the venerable Colonel Thomas Beale from the 3rd US. Now, let's look at our numbers, 23 and 42. Wow. So the Confederacy are on the back foot right now as John Von Worth, or Captain Von Worth, takes down Lieutenant Jim from the 2nd Rhode Islanders. As you can see, Chaplain Levi picks up the flag, makes his way out with Autist. And here they are. Oh, that was too close for comfort. As now the enemy, as you can see over to the left there, look at that. Sneaking down the left side. Whoa, cannibal. Going for an outflanking maneuver. Looks like he may be seen by the commanding officer. And that's Jossen. Sergeant, oh, look at this. Charging in quickly. Comes the 3rd US. Musket Maskin and friends. Brigadier General George Latham is taken down by Ollie. Out comes the pistol. Down goes Chaplain Levi. No, Colonel Thomas Beale. Oh, brutal fire coming in there from Colonel Sawyer. Now he's defending himself. Look at this. Fine able work. And he finally goes down. Brutally murdered. As now the other members of the forces come in. Who's this man defending himself? It's Private Ollie. Down he goes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, has been the Union Army versus the Dixieland Army. Our thanks, of course, to every single member of the Union Army and the Dixieland Army for taking the time out to have this battle. Thank you very much to both. And, of course, thank you to the admins for ordering it. No, organising it, in fact. Anyway, we shall see you next time for more North and South. Take care, everyone. Maybe I'll have less hoarse voice next time. And I'll start to sound like... oh, God, well, I have no idea what I'm going to sound like. Sound like some kind of mafia guy. Yeah, it won't be good. See you next time.